Hey, welcome to another episode of the Black Guy Who Tells podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
And we are live on what appears to be a Sunday night, Sunday evening, ready to do some podcasting. Find us wherever you get your podcast, because that's where we going to be at. The official weapon of the show is...
phone chair.
And the unofficial sport,
bullet ball.
And bullet ball, extreme. Lots to get to, a lot of news and stuff. But I guess I gotta ask first, Karen, do you have any banter?
Just one thing.
Just one thing? All right. Do you have any
banter? Talk to me.
Do you have any
banter? Talk to me.
Do you have any banter? Do you have any banter?
I do.
Talk to me. Banter. Talk to me.
Do you have any banter?
I do.
Banter. All right, player.
It's just one thing. I think Tiger Balm is made out of magic and unicorn dust. Unicorn horn dust, not just any dust, but the tip of it, the horn. Because last week we took our COVID shots and our flu shots, and my shoulder was killing me. I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening here? And I was looking around the house. I don't know why. I couldn't find no Bengay. It was like it all just up and disappeared. I don't know if I went through one time and looked at the expiration date on shit and was like, this shit too old. I don't know what I did, but you bought me some more, and I'm glad, because I rubbed that on my shoulder blade, and it was like, you good, homie? I was like, I'm good, homie. I don't know what the hell is in that shit.
Yeah, Tiger Balm definitely works, man. Like, it's, there's a few products that work all the time.
Never fails.
Do what they supposed to do. Tiger Balm is on the list for me.
Don't never see no commercial, no goddamn way for it.
Yeah, I don't know if there's commercials or not, but yeah, you're right. I just know that it works. People have told me through word of mouth. First time I used it, I knew it worked. And I think also Pepto-Bismol is on the list for me.
Another one.
Don't miss. It do what it say it's gonna do every time.
Upset stomach, diarrhea, it does it all. You like, and the thing is, you want it quick, the liquid. I've had the liquid, I've had the pill. All them shits work.
Yeah, I don't know how they figured that out or whatever, but I mean, it does not fucking miss.
You always gonna get your money's worth with that shit. When they go no false advertisement, and the kids say no cap, they don't be capping. Everything you read, they be like, bitch, I can do it. Let's go.
Yeah. I guess it's not really banter, but it's just something I did. There's not a news article to cover on it, but Nancy Pelosi is speaking at the DNC, I think Tuesday or something.
Okay.
And there's a lot of like animosity towards her. There's speculation about her. There's speculation about about Barack Obama, and like they made Joe step down, and now they didn't want Kamala, but now they're trying to act like it's all good or whatever. Nancy still has little shots at Joe in these interviews. I wouldn't necessarily call them shots, to be honest, but that's because I always kind of soberly look at politics. I very rarely have much attachment to people in that, other than if they can do the job well or not. So with Nancy, she has been saying less than flattering things about Joe Biden, but Joe's already stepped down, so it's kind of like and it would, honestly, it would just be a lie if she was like, I had no concerns, But at any rate, she's speaking, and that's important, because from this Monday, tomorrow, to the rest of the election, the Democrats got to fall in line. Everybody. And I mean, it don't matter if it's Nancy Pelosi, it don't matter if it's Bernie Sanders, who's not officially a Democrat, it doesn't matter if it's the Obama, it don't matter who it is. From this point on, we're in the end game. We're in the end game now, as they say. And And I just really think it's important to stop with the petty shots and the infighting. You can do that shit again to Wednesday after the election or whatever. Whenever it's called, y'all want to start being mad at each other, fine. But right now, that shit is clicking too good because Kamala is a great candidate and she's a better candidate because Joe Biden is president. Like him being president and honestly, what I didn't see coming, he's a better president with her running on the campaign. Like he talking shit now. And it's something I've always wanted him to do, but I think he's always had in mind that the country is not one of Democrats versus of Republicans and Democrats win over Republicans. That's how I view it. But I don't think he wanted to be the president of Democrats or the presidents of liberal. He wanted to do what was best for America, and that includes the people that didn't vote for him. That includes people that are on the fence. That includes not insulting them, blah, blah, blah. And man, he threw that shit out the window the last like 3 weeks. He been talking his shit about the economy being better than what people said, about the stock market.
Shit he's always thought.
About the hostage exchange with Russia. Like, it's not just that he did it, but he's like putting some like, yeah, I did it. And that shit is important, you know? And you could tell that being on the campaign trail was taking his energy because he looks a lot more energetic. I think in the last 3 weeks than he did before. I know part of that was he got sick and all that shit, but whatever it is, I think it doesn't help if you're sick and you got to be in Iowa tomorrow and then Ohio the next day and then you got to go sign a treaty this day and then you got to fucking be at NATO for this. So like, I think he's a better president with her doing the running and the legwork. And I think she's a better candidate not having to actually govern and be held up by the office at this point. Not that she couldn't do it, but it just makes her like able to just campaign, straight up campaign. No bullshit, no gotcha shit, like, and to concentrate on how she wants to run her campaign and how she wants to message. And it's really been their synergy has really lit a fire under both of them in ways that I didn't even think about when she was named a candidate. All right, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I got something to say. I 100% agree, and it's one of those things where I agree with you, and regardless of what you think about how things with Joe came out, at the end of the day, I don't want Trump there. And so, like you said, this unity needs to continue. And keep it real. Yeah, because the thing is, people are going to fall out after the election regardless of who wins. Like people are going to have all their opinions, but by the end, everything is over with and done. And the people would have spoken regardless of the results. And I do agree that now is the time for a unifying front, regardless of if you wanted Joe to step down, if you like Kamala, if you don't, like, none of that bullshit matters, because starting tomorrow, it's not going to matter anyway, because everybody has kind of already up front got all the like all that shit is up there. Everything else is going to be for a performance type of thing. So once they realize that no matter how I feel, I care about the party, because no matter what you can say, no matter how you feel about Nancy cares about the party. You know, she has her flaws too, just like everybody else, but she cares about the party. Barack Obama cares about the party, you know, and that can't be denied. So it's just one of those things where they were going to get in line regardless. Regardless of what was happening, they were going to get in line.
Yeah, and I'll say it again because, you know, I always say this, but I think it's right. We can't agree on everything except Donald Trump needs to get the fuck out of here.
Agreed.
And so everyone can fall in line with that message of, hey, okay, Nancy didn't like something with Joe. Joe didn't like something with Nancy, such and such don't like that. Whatever the fuck, we all agreed not Trump, you know?
Yes.
There was another thing I saw going on around Twitter that it was a clip of Trump talking about what he would do with Israel, right? Matter of fact, I think I can find the audio second, so I don't. I just want to make sure y'all don't get a echo when I do this. But
Correct in the chat, yes.
yeah. So this is him talking about Israel.
President, we will deport the foreign jihad sympathizers, and we will deport them very quickly, and Hamas supporters will be gone. If you hate America, if you want to eliminate Israel, then we don't want you in our country. We really don't want you in our country. I will ban refugee settlements from terror-infested areas like the Gaza Strip, and we will arrest the pro-Hamas thugs who vandalize federal property and make really life very, very difficult in this country for a lot of people.
Now, I think it's interesting because I'm not here to rub anyone's nose in the shit, to be honest. But it's very important that moments like this are highlighted because it's not dismissible and it's not just some, oh, well, like, we still get to complain. You absolutely had a right to complain. You absolutely had a right to protest. You absolutely had a right to hold people accountable.
Agreed.
But for the record, when those of us who say like, yeah, but the Democrats are better than Trump, and that ultimately is all a vote can do.
Yes.
A vote doesn't have this like extra property of saying, well, I don't like either of them, so go get me someone else. No. One of these two options will be president in November, or be elected president in November and be president in January. That is the facts.
Yes, sir.
Her saying like, you know, a person who is her in the administration and with her speeches, a person who is calling for ceasefire, urging ceasefire, you know, helming negotiations to try to get a ceasefire, versus this shit. I'm gonna deport you. Like, this is also why I didn't think it was some big joker to tell people like, oh, you're not gonna do that shit at no MAGA rally. Yeah, because we all know the MAGA shit those motherfuckers are worse. We all do. I don't. It's a tactic. I'm not mad at them for that. I'm not telling them to go die.
Right.
Like I understand. Now, that being said, there's degrees to the shit. So I just think him saying that, it kind of adds a perspective to Kamala being like, hey, ultimately, if y'all just want Trump, say that. Because it's one thing to say, we want to talk to you, we negotiate, we want to meet. I've done that. I'm doing that. But it's another thing to throw out there, like, I'm trying to give a speech, y'all are cutting me off. I've waited 3 minutes. I've been patient. What exactly do you want from this moment other than, you know, y'all got to go out. I get a moment of being like, come on, y'all. And then we move on, because at the end of the day, ultimately, we know you don't want Trump and we don't want Trump.
Right.
And that's the one area everyone should be able to touch hands and agree on.
Yes.
Regardless of whatever issue it is right now in America. If you're the right side of the issue, is going to always be closer to what Democrats are doing than what the conservatives plan to do under Trump. And I just wanted to reiterate that with this moment.
Yes, and also it's one of those things where it shows the hyperactive bubbles online, like just across all those social media platforms. Because at one period of time, that was what everybody talked about, and I get it. But when people were going, hey, we hear y'all, but y'all also need to vote, and if this is your only issue, well, then this is how you should vote if you have no other concerns. And when you bring those things up, particularly online, a lot of them people act like you were quote unquote attacking their cause. We're not attacking your cause.
I saw somebody say, man, you got liberals and their whataboutism. And I can't stress this enough, but one, whataboutism what about is valid.
Yes.
Like people always say what aboutism, but I understand what aboutism when it's not valid. Like if if Karen was cheating on me and then I was like, I can't believe you're cheating on me, and then she was like, what about that time that you forgot to do the dishes? Like that's a what aboutism.
Yeah.
But if Karen is cheating on me and I'll go, I can't believe you cheating on me, and she goes, what about the time you was cheating on me? That's not what aboutism anymore.
No, that's not.
That's germane to the fucking topic. That matters. That exactly lines up one for one. This is a time where something lines up one for one. Is it inconvenient? Yes.
Yes.
We like to live in a world where you can fucking forget the Republicans exist and there's such a like shot in the dark party that you could just be like, well, you know what? I don't give a fuck what Donald Trump says. If you want my support, you need to do better. Yes. But unfortunately, that's not what we live in. And I think he's such a fucking dummy, for the record. This is an area where you could hammer a division within the Democrats and the liberal coalition because it's already exists and it's already been, I mean, it was strong under Biden. That's what was really hurting a lot of his online momentum. And Trump is so bigoted and so fucked up and wants to be such a short-sighted strongman. He couldn't even hammer this divide and win.
He don't know how.
He's gonna be worse on the issue than she will be in office, and I mean that's why we vote.
That is why we vote. Anything, any issue, any problem, any social, economic, whatever it is, it will be worse under Trump. And if we can agree on that, that's all that matters. Because the rest of the shit we are not going to agree on. Just as a coalition.
All right, let's get to some other news.
Psych.
Music.
All right. Columbia's president of the University Columbia, not the country. Columbia's president resigns after months of turmoil punctuated by clashes over Israel-Hamas war.
You talked about this, and you brought up a good point. You was like, the moment them protesters start, all of them were going to have to step down because no matter what they do was just not going to be the right answer. You weren't going to please the student population, and nor were you going to please the alumni. It was like, get them the fuck off our campuses.
Yep. I did say that, didn't I, Karen? I did.
That's right. Yep, that's right. That's right. That's right. Yep, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Whoop, what was that again? Oh yeah, Rod was right. Rod was right.
Straight up. As soon as they got called to Congress, all of them motherfuckers might as well have resigned. You can't win this one. There's no win on this. If you, the Republicans are able to put pressure, and politicians in general actually are able to put pressure on the university presidents through the alumni and through donors and all this stuff, so that if you side with the kids, you gonna get fired. And if you don't side with the kids, the pressure is eventually gonna get you fired, because the kids are not gonna stop protesting.
No,
that's
they're
what the fuck
not.
kids do. It's a college campus,
Right, that's what they do.
and like a protest don't need your support necessarily. If anything, you know, the support might wither a protest or whatnot, but it won't actually solve the problem. And so these motherfuckers are in a quagmire. All these motherfuckers is gonna get fired, like the ones at the prominent universities that is becoming a thing. And the next person taking over isn't really gonna be able to solve shit. Like you can make designated places for protests, all this shit, but the second that it's like, all right, we need to go about our business as a school, we need to go ahead and start classes and all this shit. Well, sometimes protests might disrupt that. They might occupy a building. They might stand in the middle of campus and make a lot of noise and shit. Whatever it is, that's the point of the protest, and you can't come down hard on it and keep your job, because it is still a liberal institution. But more importantly, and liberal, I mean, reputation wise. I don't think many institutions this old or liberal. But my point being, like, it's a place where the students pay the bills.
Yes.
So like the students are protesting, you out here trying to lock them up and go to jail. That's untenable. So I'm not surprised she had to step down, and I don't think there's a catch-all easy solution where she just keep their job, make everybody happy, and everything will be cool. Nope. And the pressure from Republicans is fucking shit up, and I really wish people had kept the same energy about voting in their local and house races and down ballot races. I really wish they had kept that same energy that they had for Biden, because at the end of the day, man, if there was not a Republican House, these people wouldn't have got fired.
No,
they might not even have got called up there like that, and they definitely wouldn't have had all this pressure. I don't think they'd have the same kind of pressure to be like, hey, arrest these students. Like, maybe some pressure, but not the amount where like your alumni are saying that, and then you turn around and you got to go to Congress, and then they're fucking yelling at you, telling you better do it too, and then you do it, and of course you got to step down because what you did is unconscionable, to call the police to fuck up some students because the students have, a conscience. And you're not going to get everybody to believe that all these students are just violent rioters who are just harassing and killing everybody and shit, because eventually that's the scare tactic they use on all protests. So when people don't agree with a protest, it always is painted in that light. And at least for me, I will always be cynical about that, because we have been around through the Black Lives Matter protest era, and which is an interesting phrase to say because it seems like that's over, but the Black Lives Matter protest era, because they said the same shit. Oh, they're being violent, they're threatening, and it's all just so they can say, bring in the riot gear and fuck up these people. So yeah, she just got caught between a rock and a hard place. I think she's now the announcement also comes just days after the school confirmed that 3 deans had resigned after officials said they exchanged disparaging texts during the campus discussion about Jewish life and anti-Semitism. Shafiq was among the university leaders called for questioning before Congress earlier this year. She was heavily criticized by Republicans who accused her of not doing enough to combat concerns about anti-Semitism on Columbia's campus. All of it's and I think she might even been the one that promised to like go back and be tough. Nigga, you gonna lose that job.
Yeah, and also it's one of the things too, to where even with a lot of this, a lot of media coverage and shit died down. Like, because for a while, like this was happening before, but for a while that was literally all the media was focused on. And then all of a sudden that shit stopped. Not that the protests didn't stop, but the media's showing up at these campuses, they're daily showing up at the campus, like all that shit stopped, and all of a sudden it was Joe Biden old for a fucking month and some change.
Right.
So it's one of those things to where, not trying to be funny, for a lot of them, it really wasn't that important. They were just covering it because of these large universities, and it was news, and it was
you think the media it wasn't that important?
Yes, because if this was that important to them, they would have continued to show up, they would have continued to cover it. But the quote unquote second the protesting circles got smaller, because the protesting said, but when they started cracking down and started threatening the student body, well, a lot of them's like, I don't want to deal with that.
So I don't know, that may be accurate, but also I think school let out.
All right, something happened. Yeah,
it probably wasn't as much to cover because people was back home and shit.
Right.
And the classes for the most part weren't really in session like that. Not that I think everybody went. I'm sure there were some people protesting, but it's about to heat back up. School about to come back in, and this shit didn't resolve itself in these months. So I can see her
because
being like,
everybody went home, right?
Yeah, I can see her being like, let me get the fuck out of here
before the student population get back in here. But like, that bitch still in charge, and next thing you know, you're gonna have to deal with them, protesting again, because it's going to be interesting. I'm going to keep my eye on the media when the student population really start, like September, October. Like, I want to see how they're going to start covering these protests again, that they going to act like that shit never existed.
Yeah, and I think the kids will probably keep protesting. Like, I don't see any reason they should stop. So I mean, unless you get a ceasefire deal coming up soon, like the issue hasn't changed. So why would their stance on it change unless the kids just all got tired?
Agreed.
In Trump news,
Nigga.
let's get the Trump news out the way. So the union boss who spoke at the RNC, which is a ridiculous sentence to say because they are the most anti-union
They want to
people.
break them motherfuckers up. They were like, you can get the same benefits of the union and not pay no dues. Bitch, what? You ain't put in on it. You shouldn't get the benefits of it.
So this guy's name is Sean O'Brien. And he goes and gives this fiery speech at the Republican convention about unions and shit, knowing their stances on unions, knowing how they vote. He makes it sound like it's a both sides issue or both kinds of politicians issue. This is one of my biggest pet peeves in all of the world is people that speak in these broad sweeping platitudes when sometimes it's a very specific problem with just one of the parties. Now, if you want to be upset about that one party, then be upset about that one party. But to go up there and be like, I'm just going to yell at all the politicians. No, nigga, it ain't actually all of them.
No, it's
Like,
not.
how about you do some fucking reading and then you come back when you got a real answer? At any rate, so Elon Musk did a conversation with Donald Trump.
That nobody covered. Maybe you talked about that.
Yeah. At any rate, he does that, and Trump praised Elon Musk for firing workers who went on strike. They go on strike. I won't mention the name of the company, but they go on strike and you say, that's okay, you're all gone. You're all gone. So every one of you is gone. It's unclear which of Musk's companies Trump was referring to. Firing workers for organizing, striking, and exercising their rights as Americans is economic terrorism, O'Brien said in a statement on Tuesday. So
This is
O'Brien,
the head of the union?
yeah, he now is upset with Trump.
Get the fuck out of here. What you think he was going to say?
He became the first Teamsters president to ever speak at the RNC.
It's a reason why.
But the International Brotherhood of Teamsters have yet to endorse a candidate for president this cycle. The United Auto Workers Union filed an unfair labor practice charge against the Trump campaign and Musk, the billionaire chief executive of Tesla. Both Trump and Musk want working class people to sit down and shut up, and they laugh about it openly. UAW President Shawn Fain said in a statement, "It's disgusting, illegal, and totally predictable from these two clowns." So UAW clearly seems to have picked a side.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, most American major labor organizations have endorsed Harris. The UAW, Unite, AFL-CIO, American Federation of Teachers, Service Employees, International Union, United Food and Commercial Workers, Communications Workers of America, American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, United Farm Workers, International Union of Painters and Allied Trades. This is why I keep saying, Doc, it's not really close with these candidates. Republicans have not sent someone up here to make it close.
Nope.
It is a divided country because the choices are divided and motherfuckers are lining up. So, yeah, I really can't be sympathetic to this asshole because
you had no business going over there.
Right.
If you the first, you should have been like, hey, how come nobody ever did? Like, if you was just that ignorant going, you should have asked about it. Why? They was like, because they are union busters and nigga, we a goddamn union. They don't, what the fuck?
and they don't show any they don't even show any deference towards the union. So like the RNC and Trump aren't doing anything to make it seem like you should come. It's the same reason I thought the NABJ was wrong, you know? So yeah, I just thought that was interesting. In more Trump related news.
Nigga.
Apparently 5-year-old Foreign dropped a surprise track called ONBOA 47 RD. So I guess it's supposed to be like on board with 47 in the middle of it, which makes no motherfucking sense. But on the track, it features Kodak Black as a credited writer and Trump.
As a credited writer?
Kodak Black and Trump as a credited writer, yes. The track starts off with Trump's voice over the beat saying, "I will fight for you with every breath in my body. I will never, ever, I will let you down." This isn't just a random sample. It's a snippet from his first public speech after surviving an assassination attempt. On the song, Fabio comes in rapping about his demons and fighting for the cause, while Kodak brands himself a drug dealer turned diplomat and reflects on his relationship with Trump.
I hope you got a COD, cash with delivery. I mean, you got paid up front, because if not, you never get your money.
Both rappers have previously been vocal about their support for Trump. However, it's unclear if 45 authorized the use of the sample in the track, although he has yet to publicly address the track. Trump is known to have expressed appreciation to hip-hop stars who co-signed him. So, yep, not surprised at all. I mean, I think they do get their checks up front. I think, I think Kodak may even... I know there were certain rappers that were like pardoned because of Trump.
Yes.
And so I don't know if he's one of them or something like that. Yeah, Lil Wayne and Kodak Black. Why did Trump grant the rappers clemency? And Lil Wayne has been very publicly supportive of Republicans, and being anti-Black Lives Matter. So like, I'm not surprised by any of this. I haven't heard the song. I'm not gonna play it. But yeah. Just more motherfuckers selling out for Trump. Trump will now speak from behind bulletproof glass out at his outdoor events.
Nigga.
I guess.
So now we
like
have
the
to,
Pope.
Yeah, now we have to pay extra money because you won't pay your fucking bills. If you paid your bills, we could have this shit in arenas like we were supposed to be doing anyway.
It's super crazy thinking about how he has his events outside when he can't even fill up the inside places.
Right.
Like, I keep seeing these videos of these rallies and they're empty and motherfuckers are leaving. And
because he shows.
I mean, this looks like the
shit.
biggest grift in the world. I don't know exactly what their plan is, but the feelings to me is like, oh, they plan on doing something shady to try to steal this election. Because it don't seem like they have the numbers that they even had 4 years ago. And that, like, they were at least filling those places with assholes. Now you like. You ain't even got nobody in that piece. But yeah, so now he's gonna be doing it behind glass, which is interesting. Let's see. There's a couple.
He gonna be
more.
coming up from the floor or some shit. Like, how the fuck you don't get in it?
I don't know, Karen. I guess we'll see together when it comes out. Cause I
guess
don't
so.
know.
It shit don't make sense.
Maybe it's a dome. I don't know. I have no idea. This is all crazy shit. We live in a world right now where so much of this shit, if you told me this is on an episode of Futurama or something, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I'd have been like, share.
That sounds like a plot. Here's one. You want to hear something that could be Futurama, but it's actually real life? I had to verify it because I kept seeing this online and I went, is this real or is it just my bias clicking in, and it's something I would be willing to believe about these motherfuckers?
What's that?
JD Vance supporters are carrying around cups of his sperm. Now, it's not his actual sperm, but they're plastic cups that, like you have at a doctor, that are supposed to look like his sperm. Like it's got things on it that say like it's his sperm. JD Vance, full. Like, I'll show y'all the pictures. I saw these pictures online. And
then they're like, why y'all calling us weird? Bitch, this is weird.
Yeah, Trump 24, fight. This, and then JD Vance, full, I don't even know what this says, full something. I like, it's so bad I don't want to believe it's real. And it was
them
multiple
look like
people.
the pickups.
Yeah, but I mean, I assume if you go to the sperm bank, they have the same cups. What do you think? They got sperm-shaped cups?
I don't know.
Right.
I don't donate sperm.
I was just doing some. I've never done it either, but I'm just using deductive reasoning.
No problem.
But yeah, these motherfuckers are holding it up and saying, like JD Vance, sperm.
Are they carrying couch cushions on their back too? The fuck is happening right now?
So apparently they're doing it to mock people who need IVF, like Tim Walsh and his wife.
Oh.
Yep. Now, when Hillary called these motherfuckers deplorable, right? That was too far.
Well, child, yeah, you gonna keep getting these couch jokes. Fuck you.
That was too far. And there's still people upset about the couch jokes. saying like, Kamala Harris and them need more decorum. There's people saying that, we need a uplifting campaign, not something about being mean and all that stuff.
Y'all get out of here. Don't nobody care.
Yeah, those are the people that get beat up in a fight. Those are not people on our side that fight.
I'm not trying to lose. Get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah, I don't want to hear the shit.
Don't care.
All right, so I think that's all of the Trump news that I have.
Nigga.
But I do have some other news that's not as that's actually positive and about Biden and them. The White House struck a deal to cut the prices of popular Medicare drugs that cost $50 billion yearly.
Let's go.
So it's like the top 10 drugs, I think. Yeah, they knocked down the list prices for 10 of Medicare's costliest drugs.
Saving taxpayers money.
Yeah, the list cost isn't the final price people pay, but it does save people's money, and we will see how much soon, I guess, as it goes into effect.
Because when you talk about this, a lot of these people, they're all age range. You said Medicare. This is the one for the older people, right?
Yeah, but I think it comes down for everybody. I don't think just people on Medicare, but but the way they targeted the list was, we need to cut the money for the top 10 for the most costliest drugs people on Medicare use the most.
Yes, and some of these are going to be some of the most common, probably stuff dealing with diabetes and I'm just guessing.
I know I have the article. I could tell you.
Oh no, no
ahead.
problem.
Do your thing.
Also, I think too, when you look at it, they saving taxpayers money, which is a good thing, and for a lot of people, they can actually take the full prescription, because some of this shit is so expensive. People's like, I gotta chop them in half, I gotta crumble them, I gotta, I can't get it refilled. Like, it's wild out there. The doctor be like, I need for you to take this every day. No, bitch, it's gonna be every 3 days, because I don't have $500 a month for no pills.
Yeah, so it includes blood thinners, diabetes drugs, and blood cancer medications. The reductions, which range between 38% and 79%, will take effect in 2026.
79.
So,
woo!
Yeah, so there's still like another 2 years for this to really kick in.
That's why it's going to matter who's in office.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this moment for a long time, President Joe Biden said Thursday during his first policy-oriented appearance with Vice President Kamala Harris since leaving the presidential race. We pay more for prescription drugs, it's not hyperbole, than any advanced nation in the world.
Yes, we do.
Taxpayers spend more than $50 billion yearly on the 10 drugs, which include popular blood thinners like Xarelto and Eliquis, and diabetes drugs Jardiance and Januvia. With the new prices, the administration says savings are expected to total between $6 billion for taxpayers and $1.5 billion overall for some of the 67 million people who rely on Medicare. Details of those calculations, however, have not been released.
Let's go.
Yeah, but I thought that was cool. That was like that's a nice moment.
Yeah, and like you said, it goes in effect in 2 years. So who's in office gonna matter if this shit even gets applied in 2 years. So shit matters, y'all.
Biden administration hikes pay for Head Start teachers to address workforce shortage.
Yes.
The Biden administration is hiking pay for teachers in the early childhood program Head Start as part of an effort to retain current employees and attract new ones in the midst of a workforce shortage. The administration's new rules published Friday will require large operators to put their employees on a path to earn what their counterparts in local school districts make by 2031. Large operators also will have to provide health care for their employees. Smaller operators, those that serve fewer than 200 families, are not bound by the same requirements, but will be required to show they are making progress in raising pay.
Yes. Maybe this is just me. It's bullshit that you can go to a company, they be like, we ain't got to offer you no insurance, bitch. What you mean you can opt out of this bullshit? Like, most jobs don't. But depending on how it's structured, they were like, we ain't got to do it. You be like, the fuck is this? Yes, if you over a certain size, bitch, you can afford health care. I'm sorry.
We can't expect to find and hire quality teachers who can make this a career if they're not going to get a decent wage as much as they might love the kids, said Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra in an interview. Many operators have been forced to cut the number of children and families they serve because they cannot find enough staff. At one point, the federally funded program enrolled more than 1 million children and families. Now programs only have about 650,000 slots. A quarter of Head Start teachers left in 2022, some lured away by higher wages in retail and food service sectors. Some operators have shut down centers. Head Start teachers, a majority of whom have bachelor degrees, earn on average less than $40,000 a year. Their colleagues who work in support roles as assistant teachers or classroom aides make less than that.
Woo. Yeah, so you talking these people with degrees, so they don't went to school, they don't did everything. And depending on where you live in the country, most places in the country that's not a lot of money, but depending on what state you're in, that's like at or below poverty. So it's like, hey dog, I care about these kids, but goddamn it, if I can make more money at McDonald's or waiting tables or in the retail or doing boxes for Amazon, the fuck I'm here for.
Yep. And once again, my guess is this is the exact kind of thing Republicans would cut. Like this type of funding and shit like that, I can't see. Like they're very much like fuck your kids if you ain't got the money, and fuck schools and fuck teachers and fuck unions. Like they're very anti all this. So you're right. It comes back down to voting. Cornel West, our dear brother, he has been disqualified from Michigan's presidential ballot over notary problems.
Disqualified? I didn't even know you were running.
It was not notary. You didn't know he was running?
Not, but like this.
Come on, man.
Not that he went running, but I'm like, I didn't know nobody was really like taking you seriously. I thought you just fucking disappeared. It's like, nigga, you're like, okay. So let's say you get it. What you gonna get? You're not even gonna get enough percentage to even be able to get on the stage. The fuck is this? You waste people's time.
Right. That's talking about debates, but you can be on the ballot without having the percentage to require to jump in debates.
I'm with you. Here's
the problem though. He didn't get his shit notarized right.
Oh, the little stamp.
Notarized. They said that the problems with the way a required document his campaign submitted was notarized. Did you go like what the fuck kind of bullshit is that?
That stamp. That was like, who stamped this? Send it back.
None of us know your stance on any issues because you ain't been out here campaigning for shit.
Nope.
Like I ain't seen a fucking attack ad on no candidates. I ain't seen a pro ad for your ass. I haven't seen. I'm Cornel West and I've endorsed this not once.
That's why I was like the fuck, nigga, get out of here.
Yeah, but to not know, God, you're not serious. These grifters are getting worse. This is Jill Stein would never.
She would never.
She would at least get it notarized before she ran away and absconded with y'all's
money. The paperwork gonna be right. You might fuss at about how it's done, and then you might find out it's wrong later on. But she gonna get it through.
And now they're saying this might come up in other states for him, but obviously he can't win anything. And really, was really interesting. Michigan is a state where people feel like it's a battleground. There's a lot of Muslim people that live in Michigan. And so this was like Kamala Harris might have her work to cut out for her in Michigan. It's a toss up. And so you would think, obviously, RFK is not pulling away any Kamala Harris voters. I mean, let's be real about that. If anything, it's Trump people like Joe Rogan and shit. But it's the but Cornel West. You can make an argument there's gonna be some people that might do a protest liberal vote and put Cornel West's name. He ain't even gonna be on the ballot.
I'm glad. Don't waste people's time.
I mean, I'm glad too, but I'm just saying, like, that's a very interesting turn of events. The one thing you could have done was be a spoiler and hurt the Democrats.
Get a half of a percentage of the votes.
Yeah. And you didn't even submit the right paperwork.
Yeah, I'm very unserious.
Notaries traditionally verify documents and certify that the person signing them was in their presence when the signature was executed.
Right.
Apparently, this was his affidavit of identity was not notarized in compliance with the laws of the state where it was notarized, which was Colorado, according to a Friday letter to West from Jonathan Bratter, Michigan's elections director. They say he failed to identify what notarial. So, okay. However, according to Bratter's letter, Donna L. Manning, the notary for West's affidavit, failed to identify what notarial act was being performed. Plus, Manning's notary stamp was on a separate page from the affidavit, and Manning's signature to certified. God damn, you can't even do this shit for like regular shit that you can use a notary for.
They have a big ass stamp, they stamp and they sign all on the same page.
Yeah.
A lot of times multiple pages. If they were like signature stamp, signature, it don't matter. Yes, you are who you are. Like they make you go through a lot of shit. It ain't simple.
They got one job. They watch you sign it and then they click, they put the stamp.
They stamp right on over your name, their name, somebody's name.
The document also featured unfilled blanks, and the notary certificate failed to include Manning's title of office.
Ain't that on the stamp? The fuck is this? There should be somewhere on the paperwork.
This motherfucker didn't even try, dog. What's going on?
So
what is wrong with him? Is he okay?
So you didn't even fill the paperwork right on the stamp side us. You post all the information probably on the fucking stamp.
Do you need some money?
Yeah, you need some money. Other than that, what's the point? You just take people's money.
Let's see what else is happening. This has been going around on social media. A woman was kicked out of a job interview for wearing short shorts. I thought I looked professional, she said. Let's take a look at it. See what Karen thinks about this.
Okay.
I saw the video going around on social media. I didn't click play or
so you see it for the first time too then?
Like I
think as black men we have an option.
What is this? Why is it going to something random instead of what I clicked on? Son of a bitch.
Might have to go find it.
I might be able to get it from the other page. Give me 1 second, everybody.
No problem.
They really just tried to hit me with the okie doke, guys. All right, here we go. Let's see if this will do it. It doesn't want to play. What the fuck?
Can you refresh it?
All right, let's try if I go to her profile. Man, this autoplay is wild on TikTok. Okay, I see it on here. All right, let me share this tab instead.
Okay.
And let's go click on it.
So I just got dress coded during the interview. And then
it's kind of quiet. She said, I just got dress coded during the interview. It's only 20 seconds long. I'll try to translate if y'all can't hear.
So I just got dress coded during the interview. And then they decided to reschedule the interview with me for tomorrow. But before they rescheduled, the lady was like, would you like to come back? Like go change and then come back? And I was like, no.
So I guess she went to a recruiter. This is her outfit that she has on. She has shorts, a sweater, and a white shirt. Her hair is back, in like a ponytail or something. She got the bangs, and she's wearing glasses. And so she says she got dress coded, which I guess is them going, hey, this is an interview. Maybe they have a dress code at the company, or they just expect you to dress up more than this for the interview.
Mm-hmm.
They told her, do you want to go home and change and then come back? Which she said no, she didn't want to do that.
Okay, a lot of people would have just went through the interview and then you just never heard back from them again. They wouldn't have told you. They wouldn't have been. We like they looked at you like you don't take this shit seriously.
They decided to reschedule the interview with me for tomorrow. But before they rescheduled, the lady was like, would you like to come back? Like go change and then come back? And I was like, no. These are the shorts. Let me turn some stuff, y'all. These are the shorts.
So I think what she's trying to get at is these are not like revealing shorts or like, very, like whatever, like suggestive shorts or whatever.
There's several things happening here.
Okay.
Number one, what job are you interviewing for? Like
I don't know, but she
like,
probably can't say that on social media.
No, this is somebody me on the outside looking in. Like if you doing something at Hooters, like it's certain jobs where you go, okay, But also it's one of them things. This is somebody young. Is it fair? Is it right? No, it ain't. But if you want a job, most jobs are like, hey dog, you can't come in here with shorts on. Like it's just not appropriate for the office.
Well, I think it's
space.
interesting because I think sound like she's being introduced. She said she was talking to a recruiter, which is kind of like a catch-all, isn't it? Like a recruiter is not necessarily the going to the job interview. It's more like interviewing for them to put you a resume and stuff out there with some contacts possibly. At least that's the vibe I get from recruiter. So already this thing's turned into a Facebook meme because we got to make some assumptions,
Thoughts?
and it's going to turn into what are our biases personally versus what the situation is or isn't.
Right.
That being said, I think when you're interviewing for a job, you're also interviewing the workplace. And if you are a person that wants to be able to wear exactly what she has on in this interview at the workplace, which I don't find this outfit to necessarily be unprofessional. I've worked places where someone could have worn this and they wouldn't have got in no trouble or something. I've also worked places where you couldn't have worn this and someone would have said something to you.
Yes.
I've also worked places where they had a dress code and people violate the dress code all the time. And for the most part, they didn't say much to them or they said shit and the person would be like, fuck y'all, I'm wearing what I want to wear anyway.
I've seen that too.
But that normally happens after you pass that 90-day window where you want to make it past that trial period. But I mean, to me, if Tarisha doesn't want to work at a place that is uptight about the clothes she has on, that's her right. Maybe she need to find another recruiting agency or something, or maybe this job or this recruiting company just isn't for her. But I'm not bothered by it because I mean, you want to go places you're gonna be happy, and if this is what makes her happy, fine. And if she got the money and the wherewithal to be able to withstand another however long of searching for a job in this market, that's totally her business. I think finding a job that fits you and finding a job where you can try to be happy is something most people don't take into account. And it's why a lot of people end up with jobs where they're just completely miserable because the pressure of not having a job makes you settle for, a bad job.
Yes, it will.
And then you be up in there mad as hell every day, depressed, and you really have a hard time applying to new jobs at that point because you're working 40 hours or more a week. So like the time to be like choosy was now.
I agree.
I assume, and this is assumption, because she's on TikTok telling us her business, I'ma assume she gonna be all right if she don't get this job.
Agreed.
Even and so it just becomes about everyone's opinions on etiquette and clothing. I do think it is an odd choice to wear this through an interview, but I came up at a time where, I mean, you wore a suit to work. When I was in fucking New York, I was able to wear whatever the fuck I wanted to work. You know what I mean? So like, what can I have nothing, like if I would have been applying for that job, I don't see any reason I would need to wear a fucking suit and tie to that interview for game theory or for a writer job. I should be able to roll up in that motherfucker with just whatever the fuck I feel like, because that's what the fuck is the requirement once you get there. And if they were like, you want to go home and change, I'd be like, that's a weird thing to say. I've done this job and I've seen what people wear. So like, what are we talking about? So I think you're right when you ask what job is it in the first place.
Because I think to me that matters more than anything else. Because the company's expectations, and this is recruiter, and so for the recruiter's like, we're not sending you out to these jobs like that because you are a bad quote unquote representation of what we want to present, like, from the recruiter's perspective. So I could see the recruiter being like, hey, would you prefer to go wear something else, like, what I'm saying? So it just depends. And the thing is, like you said, that at that job hunting stage is the time to decide what you want, what you don't want, what your standards are. Because like I say, I have had job offers where I had to turn down because I thought about it and my mind went through it. I was like, nah, this just don't fit me. Y'all don't, whatever the thing is that I thought about was like, I'm good.
Now, the other thing I would say too is this. It's totally fine I think it's totally fine if the company is like, you got to go home and change.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like to me, there's no wrong party in this. They know what kind of fucking company they got. The recruiter know what kind of jobs they want to send you out on.
Right.
He or she or they. And so at the end of the day, like that motherfucker, like I'll tell you what it reminds me of. When we were in college, we had the alumni come and address the boys' dorm at Fayetteville State, and the alumni are black people. It was gendered, so black men in this case, talking to black young men. And so you got these older black men coming who had experience in corporate America, who had done hiring, who had worked there, who had lived under the auspices of everything it takes to be in a fucking corporate America with the white gaze on you and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so they come in and they're telling us stuff and they're talking to us plain and they're talking to us in language we understand and affinity for us and with love and understanding of us. And at the same time, there were some ugly truths that they had to tell us. And I don't blame them because it's either this or send me out there unprepared.
And blind and not understanding why nobody gonna hire me, because like I said, a lot of folks would have went through it and you just never heard from them again, and you would not know why over and over and over again.
Now I'm more of a okay, you don't want to hear what I got to say, fuck it type of person. That's just how I am. If I'm like, do you really want to know this information, because it might not make you feel great,
right?
And I understand everything. I went through every misgiving you have, and at the same time, I'm telling you, they're wrong, but they right. And why are they right? Because they are the ones in possession of the job and the money.
Yes.
And you aren't. So at the end of the day, you can be absolutely morally correct, and at the end of the day, you are going to be absolutely without a job.
Yes, you will.
But
be.
I remember dude telling us like, yeah, some of y'all, I see y'all have the long hair. It's in style right now. You got the dreads. You got the cornrows. I understand and I respect that. That's the style in school and everything. What I will tell you is, in the corporate job that I have in corporate America at the company, the bank I work at, there are 0 brothers in there with that. And that's not a coincidence. They're not going to hire you if you're walking in there like that.
Right.
And I remember a brother getting so upset. He like got up, made a commotion, and grumbled and walked out of the meeting.
You want to hear that?
And I mean, look, I'm not mad at him. He's probably between 17 and 21.
Right.
He hasn't worked in those spaces. And I'm sure, and I remember what it was. He called one of the dudes like a sellout or a coon or some shit.
Ooh.
And right. And I remember even at that young age thinking like, nah, dude tried to give you some real game. You didn't like it. You're not required to like it. He didn't like giving it to us.
Right. He didn't want to come there to tell y'all that.
He wasn't like giddy about the shit. He was kind of like, it's fucked up, but this is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so all that to say, this reminds me of that, which is, on the internet, maybe some people might tell you if they don't know you, whatever, like depends on like your relationships with folks. This is the kind of thing that you told your parents this, they'd be like, you really couldn't have just put some pants on and tried to get the job though? Right. Like, is it really like
that important? Is
it really gonna fuck you up that much to have put on some pants? Now look, you might disagree with your parents and might feel like at the end of the day they wrong and they don't understand your ass. And you could be absolutely right.
Yes, you could be.
But if you don't get that job, then you just don't get that job. You gotta be able to live with the consequences of not getting that job.
Yes, you do.
People gonna tell you, because you're telling them you're interviewing, they're gonna tell you to do the thing it takes to get the job. So, and the internet's not your friends, and it's just a content factory. So I think that's why we ended up getting into seeing this big debate online. I didn't participate in it, but I was like, I don't know, like if she cares that strongly, sure. But
right. She
would I do it? No. I would have went home and put on pants, but that's me.
But that's me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, a lot of it is if that's the hill that you want to die on, so be it. And like you said, you have to deal with the consequences of getting the job or not getting the job because of that.
More, I mean, like if 6 months from now she's got the GoFundMe out there, these motherfuckers will clown her.
Yes, they will.
You know, like that's just the facts of the matter. Is these people aren't really your friends anyway, and telling us all your business isn't really gonna behoove you in most cases. So you know, there's no loyalty. But I don't know, man. I like traditionally I just didn't grow up like this. Like I grew up where every single career counselor, inroads, the internship program I had, the college I went to, everybody was like, man, there's a bit of conformity that you have to do to get to these jobs. And unless you're going to be an entrepreneur or work in an off the beaten path situation, you won't have to do it. But you know what? The job market has changed. The people in the job market has changed.
That's
the
true.
companies have changed.
Yep.
We are now working from home, hybrid. Motherfuckers are, you know, coming into the office and it's not even business casual, it's just casual. A lot of the old ways are dying because I think the old ways in a lot of cases were bullshit. I'm not saying that people don't do certain things better when they're dressed up and all that shit. I mean, I think that there's something to that. I don't want to dismiss that completely. But a lot of the old ways were just shit that people just did because we thought you had to do it, you know? Tradition is a way of saying someone needs to do something without having a good reason in a lot of cases.
Yeah, without having an explanation.
Like, there's no reason she can't do her job in those shorts.
Agreed.
You know? I mean, like I said, and for the record, I don't want anybody to think I'm crazy. Like, if she would have said the same thing and been wearing a thong, I would have been like, yeah, you can't work there. Like, I'm not even gonna front. Like, there's a limit to everything I'm saying. I just don't think she hit the limit where I'm like, oh my God, what? Like, I saw her outfit and was like, yeah, I would not do an interview in that, but also I could see somebody going to work in those clothes and it not being a problem.
Yeah, and also, like I said, depend on the job and also depend on the interviewer. There, you could have walked in some places, even professional, they're like, okay, you good. And you walked in some places, everybody will look at you like, what the hell you got on? So it just varies.
Yeah, and I didn't even think the shorts were that short, which is crazy because, like, I don't know if she described them as short shorts or whatever, or just the person said they were short shorts, but I see people saying in the, like, oh, they're short shorts in the reply. Short shorts are never appropriate for a job interview, especially when that short said Donnie Galella, who is a Australian stylist to the stars. Go ahead, Karen, what were you going to say?
I say, and on top of that, they're not that short. Her legs are long, or their legs are long. And a lot of times when you have, like, longer legs, things don't fall on like how they would fall on somebody else because you just have longer legs. I was like, no, that for the proportion of her body, though I've seen short, that ain't short.
Yeah, and for the record, like I said, I would have done it, but that's her life. She gotta live with that shit.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of her life, her body, her choice, Lizzo fans defend her from trolls amid viral before and after fitness comparison. So Lizzo has you know, she's always been very outspokenly body positive. She's also like extremely like active because just of what she does for a living. If you ever seen her show, it's fucking crazy how much energy she expends.
Right.
But apparently she put out a video that was a viral fitness transformation video where she showed off her workout routine. And many people feel like she betrayed her own unhealthy standards, supposedly promoting being out of shape, or is only getting fit because of cyberbullying, which is an insane thing to say.
She's always exercised, like she's
always posted it.
Yes, this is not new. This is not a shock, and there are a lot of people that can tell you I might be big, but I probably can bench press and run like than a lot of these skinny bitches. Like, size has nothing to do with like your stamina and shit like this. When you look at me, people, like I said, people assume fat and out of shape, and those two things are not always true.
Yeah. So yeah, people are saying like, and I think what's interesting is the framing of her promoting quote unquote unhealthy da 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 was literally created by trolls who hate her. Cause she's never advocated or said anything about that. That's like she does stuff like wear a bikini and take photos in it, and then they're like, look at her promoting an unhealthy lifestyle. Which is not what she did. She didn't tell anybody what to do, what to eat, how to exercise, any of that stuff.
They just want to control her body.
So yeah, this is the video. Why did it open up a different tab? Can't just hit play? I guess not. All right, let's go to here. Here's the video. It's just her working out at the beginning of it.
Yeah, the same
and then it's just her later doing a similar exercise. It's only long and it's to a beat, and that's it. Like nothing crazy to see here. You know? And it's not even some drastic transformation where you're like, what the fuck? What did she do to herself or something? You know, that kind of shit that people do is like, she lost 100 pounds or whatever. It's like she's a little more toned up, a little bit more, you know, maybe a little bit smaller, but basically looks the exact same to me.
Yep. And she's even talked about when she doesn't exercise like she should, how, you know, it just, you know, she doesn't feel right and things like that. Like somebody said, she talks about herself being a vegetarian. Everybody, are you a vegetarian? She's like, yeah.
She's done juice cleanses, and people got mad about that and assumed that she must be doing a juice cleanse because she needs to lose weight, or she's unhappy with the way she looks, and she's like, I just wanted to clear the toxins out of my body. It has nothing to do with that. But here's the point I want to get to, though. For me, it's about the projection and ownership of her.
Yes.
And
that's what it's always been about her.
It's not just her, it's all these celebrities. Because people get mad at them no matter what they do.
Right.
If they go on Ozempic, they get mad. If they lose weight, they get mad. If they gain weight, they get mad. If they tell us all their business, they get mad. If they don't tell us shit, they get mad. People are so jealous of these motherfuckers. And if they get plastic surgery, they get mad. If they Photoshop or edit a picture, they get mad. The default is they're gonna get mad, you know, period. Every change their body goes through in public that the rest of us, mostly for the most part, get to go through in private,
right?
We sit up there and we judge them for it. And because there was a divide and an argument based around her and her life, people started clinging to shit she never did or said. So like, she was never here to be promising to owe you her body shape, size, or anything. So if she were to want to lose weight, that says nothing about you. It's her and the relationship she has to her body. And what body positivity is supposed to be, and obviously I've been thinking about this kind of shit a lot, because you know, just with my own like working out and all the stuff I'm doing and being public about it, which is you know, always like a very like tenuous thing, because somebody says the wrong thing or whatever, people get sensitive, whatever, you know. But the thing about it is, body positivity was supposed to be like what you want your body to be and what you
just being comfortable in your own skin, whatever that skin appears to be.
Right. But also what changes you want to make. So what I mean is, if she were getting bigger, people would be like, oh yeah, she get bigger. Yes, that's what we want. That promotes body positivity, because you're showing you don't give a fuck about these people. Get big as you want to get. But if she gets smaller, then it's like, oh, you gave in to the pressures of society to get smaller. You must not love yourself no more. Meanwhile, on the other side, if she got bigger, you got people going, you getting bigger because you hate yourself. You don't love yourself and you don't care about yourself. So you just letting yourself go. And if she gets smaller, yay, you're doing it. You're doing what we told you to do. You're going to be a real actual person now.
Right.
Both sides of that are projecting onto somebody. These are not things she said. These are not goals she put out there for nobody. These aren't like, I've seen people that are saying stuff like that. They lose weight and then they like, I'm a mean girl now. Fuck y'all, ha ha, or whatever, you know, or they gain weight and it's, you know, they say some shit. Everyone's dealing with their own shit inside. All she's doing is living a public life, period. And it's just turned into this betrayal or celebration. And it's so interesting that if you take a step back, the betrayal and celebration is based on what the hater said. It's not based on what the people who loved her said. It's based on a bunch of people that went, you're promoting an unhealthy lifestyle. And now we're having a discussion like, yeah, she stopped promoting unhealthy standards, like, or she was living her life.
Hello.
So, she also stood up for Kamala Harris.
Let's go.
For everyone saying that Kamala Harris didn't do anything when she was VP, please, for $5,000, do not use Google. Tell me what any vice president has ever done during that term that was notable that you noticed. It's funny because when Joe Biden was VP, the only things I can really remember him doing was making cool videos with Barack. So she was feeling spicy. So yeah, and then South Park had made a whole video about her, episode about her, which I saw some of the episode. It wasn't as bad as the headlines made it out to be, which South Park almost never is. But it was like everyone was on Ozempic in the episode, and then Lizzo became like a bastion of like body positivity because she was the one like, fuck that shit. Love your body and be yourself or whatever. But people just took it and said they call Lizzo fat, and I'm like, oh god, we live in that society is toast. We're fucking done. Media literacy is zero, and
it is zero.
No one goes to watch the things they talk about. It's
right.
just fucking a rap out this bitch. All right. Speaking of rap, that's the rap for the news segment. All right, let's get into something else. Let's do something a little fun. Want to do some guess the race? Maybe does that sound like something you be into, Karen?
Yes.
It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race.
All right, guess the race time. Let's do it. How about this one? An OnlyFans billboard in New Orleans is turning heads. A New Orleans billboard promoting a woman's OnlyFans account started as a joke until it grasped the attention of thousands of people in New Orleans. It's in Central City and towers over the neighborhood near the Caesars Superdome. The content creator's name is Ariel Miles 88. It's written in bold turquoise letters, but the star of the creative display is the woman behind it all, whose name is Megan Baker. Since she decided to purchase a Lamar advertising billboard that is also unintentionally near a church, Baker says she's heard the good, the bad, and everything in between. Social media users have gone to comment sections to attack her appearance. Fellow women in the sex industry have praised her. People from her hometown of Baton Rouge have criticized her, while most in New Orleans have supported her. The billboard was originally not meant to be taken seriously, though, despite what you might have thought. It started out as just a joke. So let's see. Now they just go through the description of what OnlyFans is.
Oh, we know y'all. Yeah, y'all had a 5,000 word limit.
Right. So she was a dancer at Rick's Cabaret on Bourbon Street. She created an OnlyFans account because of COVID-19 and you couldn't work in person.
Right.
Her main source of income since has been OnlyFans.
Yeah, for a lot of them, they did that transition and they were like, bitch, I ain't never going back.
But she also still picks up some dancing gigs at a club in Port Allen, less than an hour away from her home in Denham Springs. Her boyfriend, Steve Gramillion, is her business partner. Pimp. No, I'm just kidding. I couldn't make the amount of money in a lifetime that some of the people on OnlyFans were making, Gramillion said. He quit his job after realizing the financial. Maybe he is the pimp. I don't know. What the fuck?
He was like,
what happened?
He was like, I was working, but no, Chad, we gotta get you on. We gotta spruce up the lights, make the photo shit better.
Hopefully he's a kept man. I don't know.
I think he
He
is.
quit his job after realizing the financial potential of OnlyFans and how it could support their kids for the rest of their lives.
Oh.
They have a 13-year-old daughter, and she has a 13-year-old daughter, and he has 2 daughters and a son. Our kids could have anything they ever wanted, what they ever asked for, he said. Now the 2 business partners have expanded their audience with 7 Facebook accounts, 5 Instagram accounts, at least 6 TikTok accounts, 3 or 4 YouTube channels. Baker says that the sexual content makes up just a small percentage of the work you have to do while juggling multiple platforms. She also uses OnlyFans TV, a non-explicit video platform created by OnlyFans, to share fishing content. So they're basically just content creators of life.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't just a sex thing for them. Not that that would be wrong.
Right.
But I mean, they've expanded the brand.
Yeah, and it's also one of them things where it's a full-time job to keep that shit running on top of
course,
her doing the performances and shit too. So yes, I get it.
It's a lot of people out here on the OnlyFans. Not everybody ever make a living. It's hard.
It's hard. It's a hustle.
Another OnlyFans content creator inspired her to invest in a billboard that openly showcases her account. The woman was fired from her job at a nursing home after staff discovered that she was on OnlyFans. After hearing her story, Baker wanted to exhibit her account beyond the internet. So yeah, they started using the billboard. All right, guess the race of this couple.
Oh, white.
Karen's going white. Let's check the chat room and see what they believe. Someone said Bramillion is a pimperish name. Yeah, I'm assuming they're just business partners. I would hope they don't say what he brings to the table. I hope he brings something.
I hope he probably the social media manager, like something. Yeah.
I just hope he does something. I hope it's not really just like, see, baby, it's like it's both our money. It's like, no, I'm doing the work. So hopefully he's doing something.
Yeah, he running her into the ground.
Maybe he fishing.
Shit, he might be. You never know.
At any rate, the guesses are white, pasty pimp. That means everybody said white. The correct answer is white. And that's them right there. That's her OnlyFans in the background.
Yeah, for the fact that there were no racist comments, I was like, oh, 100% white.
I didn't even think about that, but maybe they wouldn't have put it in the article. But I mean, even if they was black, they might not have put that in the article.
That's true. But
yeah, that's I mean, more power to them, dog. That's I think it's so funny too because it's nothing explicit about the ad. It's just her picture of her smiling and her OnlyFans and the name.
That's it.
And
people lost their mother because people always associate that with sex, and there's shit on that is non-sexual content that people make all the time, but people just that and sex just goes hand in hand.
Well, that's not my problem because I think it should be associated with sex and because it is an OnlyFans, and I think it would be very misleading if you went to our OnlyFans and there was zero sex happening.
Agreed.
Sexual content, adult-oriented content. The thing is just people just pretend to be so fucking uptight.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, how did you look up there and know to be offended?
Houseway.
You know what I mean?
like you either know what OnlyFans is or you don't.
Right. You so religious and so pious. Why you even mad? You should be like, I wonder what that is and keep moving. Did you Google it?
Somehow.
Did you subscribe?
You never know.
I mean, if it was a beer ad, would that have been better?
Right.
Anyway. But that's a funny that's funny. Cops. Man shot father, 74 years old, over stinky feet jibe. Jibe, I think, is an insult.
Okay.
After being told by his 74-year-old father that he had stinky feet, an Iowa man retrieved a firearm from his bedroom and shot the elderly man in the face as he was seated in a motorized scooter.
God damn.
Yeah. Responding to a shots fired report Sunday evening, cops encountered David Carpenter, 48, at the residence he shares with the victim in Burlington, a southeast Iowa city. The 6 foot, 300-pound David had called 911 and stated he had just shot his father, William Carpenter, in the face. William, who survived the gunfire, told officers that he and his son were in an argument over David's stinky feet. It escalated to David grabbing his gun from his bedroom and shooting William in the face. Questioned by police, David said he and his father were in the living room when William told him that his feet stink. During a subsequent heated argument, David claimed his father made a comment about shooting him. David said he then went and got his gun pointed at his father's face. He claimed that he accidentally pulled the trigger. At the time of the shooting, 2 children were in the living room watching TV.
What?
He was arrested for attempted murder and child endangerment, locked up in the county jail, scheduled for an August 21st preliminary hearing, and he has been ordered by a judge to have no contact with the victim. Guess the race of Mr. David Carpenter.
Dad, you can't tell me what to do. White.
All right. Karen says he's white. Let's check the chat room.
For the fact that you did all that and stuff like that, and this ain't the first time y'all don't fell out with each other. Like sound like y'all do this all the goddamn time. And so this may be something you like, if he said one more fucking thing to me about my fucking feet, because trust, this ain't the first time he done told you that your fucking feet stink. So
it seems easier to go wash your feet than to kill them.
They have a whole lot of shit, and I'm trying to, bitch, you shoot me in my face. No, you will never be up underneath my roof again.
Yeah, he was so mad he was gonna kill this man.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. All right, I don't see any guesses in the chat room. Is it just me?
Yeah. Okay.
Wet dog smell white, says Stacy. He probably carrying about fake jizz white. Carrying around fake jizz. My bad. White. So everyone's going white on this one. It seems correct answer is white. Man, that is crazy. And yeah, you're right. They must argue all the time and they keep guns in the house or something to get that crazy.
Yeah, this don't sound like this. They probably have consistently fell out about this and other things, because you're staying with your dad. And so, it's one of those things where I was like, oh, yeah, this sound like you've been mad and you basically said, if he said one more thing on my fucking feet, I'm going to shoot him or some shit like that. And you use this as an excuse to shoot him.
Yeah. Wow. I wonder how many times he pulled that gun out on him.
That's a great question. It wouldn't be surprising if it was this. I think this first time he shot, but it would not be surprising if this is not the first time he's done this. And you pulled it out once, and I live. Oh, you done.
All right, let's go to the bonus round. So far, you are 2 for 2, I believe.
Yay!
Good job.
I ain't racist. How can I be racist about anybody or anything in my life? How can I?
Call them niggas. Just call them niggas.
It's time to get
Gold,
away.
gold chain, fried chicken, biscuit eating, monkey, eat baboon, big dot, high jumping, spear chucking, 360-degree basketball.
Somebody in the chat room said, pass by the soap to get to the gun.
Right. Like, I feel like that's why he got shot. I feel like he put the gun in his father's face and he was like, please kill me because your feet stink so bad. I'd rather die than to keep smelling your feet. And he pulled the trigger. Man 22 busted for DUI, but he has an interesting t-shirt.
Okay.
22-year-old.
Does it say I'm with Drunky and the arrow pointing up?
No. 22-year-old.
Be a great shirt.
22-year-old Floridian Cooper Conti was arrested for driving under influence. Conti was booked into jail around 5:30 a.m. on a misdemeanor count, for which bond was set at $1,000, scheduled to be arraigned this afternoon. After posing for the above mugshot, he would have been directed to change into a boring prison orange sock, thus denying fellow inmates a glimpse of his unique fashion. The shirt says, "Don't bully me, I'll come." CUM.
He was holding one of them cups too, apparently.
Yeah, right. Not a shirt not worn by JD Vance. All right, Karen. Guess the race. That's all the information.
Oh, white.
Karen says white.
Only person would find a shirt like that. Dude, check out my shirt, bro. Bro, isn't this funny? Dude, that's hilarious.
That is a shirt of a person that I think would get a DUI.
Yes.
Like, that's a DUI fashion choice.
No.
It's like, this shirt, what does this shirt say about me? I like to drink and make bad decisions after doing so.
Yes, that's all this shirt says about me.
Like, it comes with the beer. Like, here's a 24 case, here's your car keys, and here's this shirt.
In one combo.
White, your wish is my command. White, definitely white. The correct answer is white. The article doesn't say whether getting arrested made him come or not, so we don't know.
Yeah, Cass, there was definitely a pull my finger bro somewhere in the conversation with this shirt.
Mm-hmm. So that's it for Guess the Race. Is getting the sword ratchetness and move out of here.
He definitely gets blackout drunk.
Yeah, I'd add an addendum to the Shalewa Sharp rule of don't do two crimes at once. Also, don't wear an ironic shirt while doing one of these crimes.
Don't wear a shirt that will bring attention to you doing a crime.
Yeah, maybe just stay off of the like trying to be funny while doing the crime.
Don't wear the I'm with stupid shirt.
Yeah. Police have named the Noblesville man accused of approaching them with a sword in hand after a high-speed chase ended in north of Lebanon. Events leading to his arrest began August 8th with a report of a hit-and-run incident along Interstate 65 south of Whitestown. Police caught up with Michael W. McGarvey, 61, who twice pulled over for them, but then sped northward. They chased him twice, jamming on his brake. He twice jammed on his brakes in front of the officers. He eventually ran into an SUV driven by the Thorntown Chief Deputy Marshal Derek Babcock, where near a rest park north of Lebanon. Both vehicles stopped in. Police surrounded his SUV, but he would not roll down a window or exit. And officers were trying to break the window to reach him when one spotted a pocket knife in his hand. They dropped back for safety, but then he drew a sword out of a sheath beside his seat.
Oh, no.
He left the SUV and approached him aggressively. Officers fired a taser at McGarvey, and he fell on his sword, cutting his wrist, but continued to resist arrest. Oh, he's a real one. An officer hit him with a third taser round. Jesus.
Third one?
It's the end of this trap movie. And that settled him enough to be handcuffed. He was taken to an Indianapolis hospital under emergency detention order. He told police he was headed out of state to buy marijuana.
What?
Excuse me. For which he has a prescription. And that he used lithium and marijuana before his encounter with the police. Lithium is a medication used to treat mood disorders, you don't say.
Okay.
They formed a field sobriety test. They did not perform a field sobriety test because of his lack of cooperation, but his blood was drawn. It was on the sword too. From at the hospital for toxicology test. His responses to all questions throughout my interaction with him were completely absurd and incoherent, all involving his father, saying his father was John F. Kennedy and how he was awarded martial law of the Constitution by his father.
What?
Well, did y'all do a DNA test? I mean, you should look into it. McGarvey is charged with Boone Superior Court 2. So there's more than one? Anyway, with 2 counts of intimidation with deadly weapon, a level 5 felony, 2 counts of resisting law enforcement, which is a level 6 felony, and misdemeanor crimes operating.
A level 6 felony?
Yeah, I like that. That matters to you. Not level 6. Oh shit. I don't even know which is worse.
I don't.
All right.
It just sounds important.
Oh And the misdemeanor crimes are operating a vehicle while intoxicated, resisting law enforcement, criminal mischief, and leaving the scene of an accident, and a cartridge. All right. That's it, guys. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back throughout the week. Hope you had a good time. Until next time, Karen.
I love you.
I was gonna say I love you.
Okay.
Until next time.
Through the fire.
I love you.
You too. That always gets me up.